Hi everyone, it's Dr. Julie Quinn here, and I'd like to introduce you to your final week, week 8. Okay, so this is an exciting week for you because it's a culmination of everything that you've done this term, and you'll notice there's no new learning resources for the week. It's going to just be the week 8 assignment and one discussion, so it's much lighter, but allows you a little bit of a time to reflect on the work that you've done so far. So let's take a look at the discussion topic. Remember, again, always do Friday, main post, and then responses due by Sunday. In this discussion topic, you have the opportunity to see your classmates are designing their resumes. Please post a draft of your resume for writing assignment 5. You will not be sharing your cover letter. You don't need to share a summary of how you applied the PARC principles, but you're just going to put your draft there. And by the way, if you want to keep your employment private from your peers and you want to shift some dates and you want to change the name of the employer, that's perfectly fine. We're actually just looking at the design aspects of this to give one another help and support, because so many students that are in this class are taking this course specifically and are finishing their degree to get promotions in their field, which is where the resume will be used, or to even switch from one field to another. We see that all the time. Even if you're not going to use your resume, it's not a bad idea to be able to get some advice. You never know when you may decide to consult or do something. A lot of people take a retirement, but then hop right back into the workforce for a variety of reasons. So that's what we'll be working on together. You'll just get an opportunity to get a little bit of feedback from your classmates in addition to feedback from myself, which will be on Tuesday. So that's what we're doing in the resume. When you respond to a classmate, provide helpful feedback on PARC principles. Be cordial and constructive. You don't want to focus on anything but the design. You cannot change somebody's years of experience or their job titles or anything like that, as you know. Okay, week 8 assignment. Let's take a look at this together. So I'm going to go into this as a learner so I can see it the same way you do. And let's go into our final assignment. It's this presentation. Okay, so let's take a look at the overview together. This is going to bring you back to writing assignment 4's internal report to your supervisor, and it's going to be a translation assignment. You're going to take your written report and you are going to create a set of 5 to 8 slides from that report, and you're going to deliver it as a presentation. There's a couple of reasons for this. We often have to translate prose into some sort of visual content, like a description of a situation, to perhaps a diagram, maybe description of how employers are set up into a new flow chart, that kind of thing, right? So in this assignment, you're going to create a PowerPoint. Now, it doesn't have to be a PowerPoint. It can be, you could do a video. You could submit a video instead, where you have a couple of things on the screen, whether it's Google Slides, it's a Prezi presentation, it's a PowerPoint. I don't particularly care, but it does need to look professional. So you can have the PowerPoint slides and then you can embed video in each slide, or you could just do a video and then I can watch the whole thing. It's up to you. Okay. The slides in total need to be 5 to 8, and the whole presentation only 4 to 7 minutes. If it's a 17-minute presentation, you've gone too long. The idea is condensing the information for both audiences at the same time, Maria and peers, to the full-time workers and Maria. So I'll be thinking about sort of audience and how you express those ideas and how you condense it all together. So you don't need to do any new outside research for this assignment at all. Okay, so you've got all of that information that you are going to condense. This will be due at the end of week 8 on Tuesday. There is no draft and final of this assignment. Okay, and then I will include in this video, I'll put a link to how to use Screencast-O-Matic. I think it's now called ScreenPal. It's the software that I'm using to create this video, and that's something that I think you could do as well if you wanted to practice with presentation videos. The beauty of that is you don't have to record and stop on every video, but I leave it in your capable hands, and there's no penalty for doing little audio in each PowerPoint. I don't mind that at all. So it's whatever you prefer. So when we go back to the assignment overview, you'll see, in addition to the overview PDF link, you'll see that this is a really simply graded assignment. The number and relevance of the slides. I'll be looking at your original reports as I look at how you condensed it, and I want to make sure that you're not including new information. You're including information that you have already covered, and that your presentation hits the number of minutes, and that you have 3 or more graphics. You're asked to include an additional graphic. The writing assignment 4 asked for 2. Now you're going to be asked for 3. So that's the only new thing, is that you can include 1 more graphic. It could be, I would recommend strongly that it's based upon the data already in your report. So 2 of your graphics can be graphics that were in the report if you got good feedback on those graphics. But if you didn't, it's an opportunity to improve. So you could create a table, you could create a flowchart of before and after, you could use data from the field, from quality research if you wanted to, but be careful. Don't just include images that are already pre-built into a PowerPoint slide deck. That's one thing. And your images need to be really data driven. And we've talked about visual rhetorical figures in week 7. So think about the purpose of the images. You don't want to have like a stop sign that says stop, right? You want to make sure you attend to understanding of audience. But at the same time, you want your images to be data driven, and perhaps you could consider a visual rhetorical image if it's directly related to the content. But I don't want to just see an image of like a cartoon car being washed. You want to be really direct, and you want to think of the environment of the presentation, that you're a new employee and this is professional. Again, this is what technical writers do all of the time. Back when I was a proposal writer for an engineering firm, we'd have to create proposal content based on the job that my firm was trying to get from the municipality. But then we would also have to create presentations, because there was the document part, and then we would absolutely have to do something like this as well for the municipality. We had to condense a presentation in front of all the stakeholders, and that was part of the bigger batch of documentation. We would have the proposal content itself, and then we would have the summary live presentation, and sometimes it was a video presentation that we would submit, as part of our materials. So this is something that I see in the real world, and it's something that I think will help you now with sort of fresh eyes go back into writing assignment 4 and take a look at how you presented content, and think about how you're going to deliver it to both audiences. Remember, you're perhaps saying to one part of the audience that some of their processes are out of date or risky, employers handling client credit cards, for example. But you want to do it in a way that doesn't accuse, but that promotes a new sort of sense of safety with the data that you're giving. So I'm excited to see what you do, but you'll notice it's a pretty straightforward grading. When I look at the number of graphics, I'm also looking at the quality of graphics, and of course the quality and relevance of the content in the slides, and that you kept it short and succinct. So this is not a wildly long project. Note, you can reach out and work with me this upcoming week. That's why I'm going to post this announcement early. So you get, even though I know the week doesn't start till Wednesday, if you want to work with me during the end of week 7 and the beginning of week 8, by all means do that. I look forward to hearing from you and working with you as we finish off the work of 393.